Spring is finally waking everything up everywhere. And if you're ready to add some spring color to your garden, I have the perfect list for you. These are my top 10 favorite perennials for instant spring color. These babies will add instant garden impact, so I'm excited to share them with you. We're gonna count them down from 10 to 1. Let's jump into it. Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. My garden is located in growing zone 8B and I am in southeastern North Carolina. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you like the kind of content I provide. Starting with number 10 is Candytuft. Candytuft is an early spring bloomer. It is hardy zones 3 through 9, so many people get to enjoy this perennial. It adds a poof of white to any of our gardens, and a lot of people like to use them for borders. It just shows up as a little pop of brightness, fresh, clean color to start the gardening season off. Now, I'm a big fan of planting in groups, and this year that's one of my main goals, is to plant better in groupings. A lot of people use Candytuft to plant in groups, again, along a border, maybe a retaining wall, maybe alongside a sidewalk, something like that. And another little bonus about Candytuft is that it is evergreen in milder climates like mine, so it always looks kind of neat with its foliage. Neat little tidy plant. Boom, fresh color in the spring. Number 9 on my list is Coreopsis. Coreopsis is actually something I added into my garden this year. So I've planted it in my island of misfit toys, which is my garden outside my fence line in the front. And as long as you keep these babies deadheaded, you're gonna get blooms. This blooms kind of later spring into early summer. And these flowers are hardy zones 4 through 9. Talk about planting sunshine in your garden. Now, I'm already having to deadhead because after I planted these, we had a real hot spell, blah, blah, blah. So I don't have as many sunshiny blooms to show you right now as I would love to, but Coreopsis would be number 9 to put on a great show in your early spring garden with lots of color. And a little added bonus feature is it's drought tolerant, which is so good for me. Number 8 on my list of perennials to add into your garden, the Hudson Bay Hosta. The Hudson Bay Hosta has foliage interest from early spring. It's going to continue through fall time. Now it does bloom and it blooms in the summer, but you really will pick the Hudson Bay Hosta because its foliage is rich in color. It's got thick leaves. It gives your garden an impact of wow right away as soon as those leaves unfurl. Now the nice thing about hostas is I'm in zone 8B and you can see that it's already leafed out pretty much fully for the year, and I have these in multiple places in my yard. And even up in the north, I know right now your hostas are starting to peak up and they already have a few inches worth of growth on them. These guys are hardy zones 3 through 9 and they do prefer shade. It gets the most sun right now in the morning here in my garden, and then it becomes shady here in the afternoon. This gorgeous baby brightens up even the shadiest of areas instantly. Let's not forget that adding color to our gardens doesn't just have to come from flowers. It can be amazing foliage like this. And I am a real sucker for plants that have that variegated leaves. Oh my gosh. So I love the Hudson Bay Hosta. Number 7 is the Lungwort or Pulmonaria. This baby is going to bloom late winter into early spring. So for those of you that are really concerned about your temperature right now, this might be the choice for you. The Pulmonaria is hardy in zones 3 through 8. One of the reasons it's great is because it is such an early bloomer. So this sweetie pie offers clusters of pink, blue, or purple blooms alongside its signature speckled foliage. And while I don't have an example here because I don't have a beautiful shady area to show you right now, this plant does thrive in shady and woodland areas. And a little bonus tip for it, once this plant is established, it is surprisingly tolerant of dry shade. It makes a great companion to hostas like the one we just showed you, or even ferns that also look beautiful in the shade. Number 6 is Dianthus or pinks. You can see Dianthus coming in a variety of colors as well as bloom styles. Carnations are a form of a Dianthus. This right here, this multicolored beautiful bloom is Dianthus. This one over here is a little bit different, has jaggedy edges but still multiple colors in its bloom. also Dianthus. I did a video last spring that was an ode to this beautiful plant because it is such a stunner, especially when you have a drift of them. Oh my goodness, the colors are amazing, the different varieties are amazing. Oh, this plant is an early spring bloomer, and it's hardy zones 4 through 9, and that could vary depending on which variety you select. The plant is so lovely. It just gives you this sweet, sweet style. It's low growing. It can be fragrant depending on which variety you select. It can be great in containers. Some can be great as edging. I tried it as a border plant in my front garden last year. I didn't love the way I did it because I basically took something like this where each one comes in its own little plug, and I kind of did one plug, one plug, one plug, hoping that it was going to fill out enough to make an impact. That was not the way to do it. If you're going to use it as a border plant, put a bunch of the plugs together so it can really flush out and give you a beautiful view like we see here. And a little bonus about the Dianthus, again, depending on which variety you select, it can be evergreen, so it can give you interest all year long. Columbine is number 5 on my list, and this one's so great because it's hardy zones 3 through 9. That means once again so many people get to enjoy it, and in fact I think people in a little bit cooler climates may have more success with it than like I do here in zone 8B. It blooms mid to late spring. The flowers on it are so unusual. It's like an amazing creation of nature when you look at a columbine up close. Very, very cool bloom style. Pollinators love them. They have almost a sweet little nodding style that can be romantic if you take the right look at it. And their little bonus is that they are self-seeders, so they can actually fill in more over time. Love columbine. Another plant you're going to be able to find in the garden centers right now is Salvia. We're looking for perennial Salvia to add into our gardens. I do have some Marcus Salvia that's got some purple blooms that are showing up right now, depending on which variety of Salvia you choose, because oh my goodness, there are so many of them. They can be hardy zones 4 through 9. I have a black and blue style Salvia also. It is perennial, but it is just starting its show now, so that may be that particular variety may be just a little bit too late to add the early impact. So talking more about like Marcus Salvia again, where it's a mounding perennial, it is great to add some color. It is great to attract some pollinators. They have spiky blooms. They come in cooler tones like purples and blues, and yes, pinks as well. That can add some real interest to your garden because I know some of us really are after cool toned flowers. And a nice tip about them too, they can bloom in the early spring, and if you deadhead them, they can come back and bloom again for a second flush. Heuchera or coral bells makes number 3 on this list. Now, while I don't have a ton in my garden because they prefer like partial shade or shade, they need some relief from like this blazing heat and summer sun that we get here in the South. I do have these babies over here, and they're getting bigger and bigger right now. They do get a little relief over here, and I like to keep them right next to my hosta so they are nice and protected. They bloom in spring to early summer, but their foliage is the reason they are selected. Their foliage comes in so many different colors. You can make such a gorgeous variety, and people who do have shaded areas, oh my gosh, it's such a treat to have them planted all around. So Heuchera or coral bells give a stunning textural display. I love seeing people who have them and have major success with them. They are just fabulous. Deep burgundy, lime green, so many color options, and they pair beautifully with flowering perennials. Number 2, Hellebores or the Lenten rose. Man, these are an adored plant slash flower. They have a unique look. Even after their flower blooms have expired, they still look delicate and beautiful. They are late winter to early spring bloomers, so again, those of you in a little bit of a colder climate, don't overlook the opportunity to have these flowers if you like them. Now, they are not necessarily budget friendly flowers in my opinion. They are a little bit more on the expensive side, but some people that like very unique looking plants and flowers also love to have them, and they do spread, and ultimately you can have an amazing hellebore collection. These plants slash flowers are hardy zones 4 through 9. They have an elegant look to them. They have downward facing blooms, which makes that a very unique characteristic. And in southern gardens, they can be evergreen. These plants really like part shade, and you can leave the old foliage on there until the new foliage starts to push through. Then you can trim off the old, and it makes a beautiful, tidy, fresh look. And then my number one choice. And if you know my garden and you're familiar with what I have planted, this one is not a surprise to you. It is the Creeping Moss Phlox. Oh my goodness, the Creeping Phlox is so gorgeous. In this case, I'm in my rock garden. It floats around the rocks. It gives very early spring blooms. It comes in colors like white, purple, pink. When you see these show up, you are just like, oh my gosh, yes, spring is here, or spring is just about to be here. These plants are gorgeous. They make an impact when they're planted in large spaces like this. I highly recommend planting them in drifts. If you need to start out small, no problem. They do grow bigger each year. They are amazing, and I cannot say enough good things about the Creeping Moss Phlox. If I didn't already say, it is hardy zones 3 through 9. So once again, so many of us get to enjoy this amazing perennial. I hope you guys liked this list of flowers and perennials that you can add to your early spring garden for a big impact. This is maybe the year of impact, the year of us developing the most gorgeous garden display ever by planting in groups and enjoying beautiful, beautiful displays. I appreciate your support. I appreciate all of your wonderful comments. I enjoy reading all of them. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, follow me on social media, and until next time, you guys, happy planting.